Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Lumen. I'm a 7 Days to Die streamer on Twitch, and this is a tutorial on the 7 Days to Die menus. I've been asked by members of my community to create some tutorial videos for new players to help get started with the game. I hope you find this information helpful. When you first launch the game, this is the starting menu. You can create a new game, which we will get into. If you have already created a game, you would click Continue Game to access and continue playing an existing game. If you are joining a dedicated server, or if you are connecting to a friend's game, a friend being someone you are friended with on Steam, this is where you would join their game, or they might join your game, or you would connect to a dedicated server. There are some editing tools here, options, general options, video, audio settings. You might not be able to join a dedicated server if they have persistent profiles on and you've changed your profile. So be aware of that. And then just the credits. Okay, let's hop into the new menu. Okay, so the new game menu. When you start off, it'll be with Navezgane. You can name the game whatever you like. If you have multiple games going, if you're doing running zombies, one game, if you're doing a build, whatever you need to identify the game so that you can figure out what's going on going forward, this is where you're going to put that information. So this is just what you see. Navezgane is the world that you're joining. This is the map that is pre-generated by the Fun Pimps, and it comes with the game. There are pictures of the map online if you want the spoilers, or if you're brand new to the game and you just want to open it up and discover it on your own. Obviously, spoilers online, so don't go hunting it down. If you do want to hunt it down, make sure you're looking at the Alpha 19 version because the map was updated in recent alphas. The world size is 6K by 6K, but you can create a map through Nitrogen, a tool that you can use outside of Twitch. A lot of people will do that. You would create your, I'll do another tutorial on using Nitrogen, but here is where you would find, actually this is a Nitrogen map that I created that I included the compo pack on. So this is just to help me when I create that custom map to know what it is. If you're playing like Darkness Falls, or there's a few different overhaul mods that will include custom maps in the once you've downloaded that overhaul mod, they'll show up here. Once you've created a map and you can start a new game on a seed or a map that you've already loaded up, you can do that here, or you can generate it from within the game. You're looking at a 15 to 20 minute delay just while that world is generated, over and above the new game load time. Label the game whatever you like. However, if you want to play a seed, if you go to the forums and you're looking at forum posts for, best seed or whatever, for whatever reason it might be, and someone advises you this seed generated a great map, you can test it here or you can play it here. You would type in whatever they said the seed name was. So the seed from the forums or a friend who said that they found a great one. This is automatically generated by the game. Don't worry about the name of this. Just get the seed name that they've given you here and make sure that you have set the world size accordingly. See how the territory changed? So 4K versus 8K map will generate a completely different seed. So be sure you've got that setting correct. Okay, so that's the basics of this map section. Once this is set and you're playing a game, this is static. It can't change. However, you can change this side. So you can have a solo game that you've played on your own, and you can have friends join you later on. So if you start a map and you decide you want a friend to join you, you could always go ahead and add your friends in, change your game password, and add in people here. You must be friends on Steam in order for them to see your game or for you to see their game. So if you're hosting a local game, this is how you do it. They connect to your PC. So this can be changed and adjusted, and you can change your game password going forward. Basic. You can change. So this difficulty settings, it's showing you scavengers, easiest designed for noobs, etc. The difficulty is how hard the mobs hit you, how hard a zombie will hit you, and how long it takes you to kill them. Keep in mind, whatever difficulty settings that you select, it's always harder at the beginning of the game. So if you need to start it a little easier when you are first beginning on day one and you don't have any skills yet, and then if you find that the game is getting too easy and some of the threat and the anxiousness isn't there, you can always pump up the difficulty on an existing game. Just exit the game, come out, tweak this, and then head back right in. The 24-hour cycle is how long in real time for a day cycle to pass. So this is going to affect how quickly you get to Horde Night. Daylight length is how many hours do you want zombies running at night? By default, at 2200 hours or 10 p.m., the game enters night mode. And then here, if you have it set to your day length at 18 hours, that means zombies stop running at 4 a.m. But you can adjust this so zombies run for 12 hours and walk for 12. You can set this whatever works for you, whatever play style, whatever kind of theme you want to go with your game. The blood moon frequency you can adjust again here. By default, it's every 7 days, and that's Horde Night. Horde Night starts at 2200 and it will go as long as your daylight length is set. The blood moon range, this is like you could set it so that you had sure that your blood moon frequency is every 7 days, but maybe you don't want it to for sure fall on every 7 days. You want a little unknown. You want that variable to add some intrigue to your game or whatever you would want to call it. So you can fluctuate it. So if you had it set that the range was 2 days, your blood moon could come on the 5th day or it could come on the 9th day. So you're plus and minusing by 2 on this frequency. You can have your blood moon warning disabled. You can have it for morning. So at 8 a.m., it will turn red on a blood moon. If you set it to not show until evening, it won't turn red until 6 p.m. So you can, with these settings, you can add some unknown so everything's not so predictable. And of course, here is where you're changing the zombie movement speed. Ferals are the zombies with the yellow eyes. They run all the time, whether it's daytime or it's nighttime. So how fast do you want ferals to run versus a regular zombie at nighttime? So a feral speed doesn't change. They run the same speed day or night. A regular zombie has a daytime speed and a nighttime speed. So this is what that adjustment is. Play with this until it's where it's comfortable for you. And of course, your blood moon speed, you can set this up to nightmare even faster. And here is where if someone has persistent profiles set to be on or the server has those settings, this is about where you have to maintain your same profile. So make sure you're not deleting profiles if you're connected to a server, just in case you change things and you need to put that profile back on to reconnect. And then here you can change your XP multiplier. If you feel like the game is progressing too fast or too slow, this is where you would adjust it. So this is going to either decrease or increase how quickly you level, and by doing so, it will also affect your game stage. The difficulty of Horde Nights, the loot that you're finding, all of that is tied to game stage. So you may want to adjust this, do whatever feels comfortable for you, but I would be cautious here. You might wind up kind of wrecking your game. Now, if you're playing a game and the settings are too hard, too easy, you can come back out and you can tweak these settings so that the game plays the way you want it to. However, if you escalate your game, even if you come back out here and you turn the settings down, your game stage won't roll back. It's still static. It's still set at that. So you may wind up having to restart if you escalate your game too rapidly. Keep that in mind. So here's some advanced settings. These are a little different. You can come in here and you can adjust how much block damage a zombie can do. The loot abundance. This doesn't affect how many it doesn't affect how many items that you pick if you're picking crops. It doesn't affect how much resources you're harvesting when you're using a wrench on a car. This only affects, I'm opening a container and the container has loot inside. So how many schematics you're finding in the game. If you open a trash bag, how many of an item. It won't change the quality of the item, but it will increase how many eggs you find in a bird's nest or how many feathers. It will increase how many schematics you find. And then you can set a container to never respawn, or you can set it to respawn. I think you can get down to 5 days or disabled. Yeah. So 5 is the quickest that you can do for respawn. So a lot of things won't respawn if you're in the chunk. So keep that in mind. If you're living on the roof of a Crack-A-Book, the contents of the Crack-A-Book I don't think will ever respawn if you're living there, especially when you've got your bedrolls and stuff down. If you're a new player, these are some adjustments you might want to make if you are dying regularly. Upon death, you can adjust this that people drop their tool belt only or their backpack only or delete everything. That's brutal. But you could have it so that maybe all of the things in your backpack stay with you. So if you respawn on your base, at your base, you can go ahead and unload everything you've been looting. And maybe you've got some spare weapons. You could try a playthrough like that. The blood moon count. It says that you'll get this many in a spawn. You get more. I'm not really sure how this is calculated. So your game stage will ramp up the difficulty of your blood moon. But I mean, if you're on day 28, if you're on day 35, your if your game stage has progressed, you're definitely going to get a lot more than 8 zombies. And your blood moon will last all night or most of the night. But if you're just feeling overwhelmed by the number of zombies, you can reduce the number here. If you feel there just weren't enough zombies, you might want to really tweak this up at the beginning of the game. If you want to play this game as a build craft game, you can turn enemy spawning off. That means you will not get zombies. However, you will get animals. You will get bears. You will get wolves. You will get chickens and rabbits. You could die to a bear. You could die to a wolf. You could you could die by falling too far. But that's where you adjust that. Airdrops, that's the plane that comes and flies overhead at noon on a specified day and drops a little loot parcel for you to go and get. And then do you want the airdrops marked on or not? So when the plane drops, there's that yellow smoke and there's a beacon on it that kind of flashes and you hear the plane go. All of that is always there. If you have airdrops marked on, if you look on your map, it will show the yellow parachute. Cheat mode, well, if you wanted to do a test on structural integrity, you're trying to build, you're struggling with building, things are collapsing on you, you can't quite figure out what's going on, or you want to test some defenses or whatever, what have you. Cheat mode, if you turn it on and you log into the game and you hit your menu key to bring up your menus, on the right hand side there will be a light bulb, and that will allow you to access for free any and every block or item in the game. Also, if you're struggling with setting up your electrical system, it's a good way to figure out how to do that. Put on cheat mode, pop into the game, throw up some stuff, wire it up if it's not working. Then you're not going through the resources that you'd be using in your real game. You can test it out. Then you log out of your test game and you go back into your real game, and now you know how to do it. So you can just set up a quick, easy playthrough with cheat mode on. That's just your test world. And then multiplayer. By default, this is your settings. This has to do with PvP. I never play PvP, so I'm not really familiar with a lot of this. I tend to play with no killing, just so it doesn't matter if somebody's allied with you or not. I think that pretty much covers everything, guys. If I've missed anything, if you have any more questions, feel free to leave a comment in the description. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. I stream on Twitch Monday to Thursday, and I start at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have questions for me, if you want to come and hang out in the stream, and chit chat. Feel free to catch up with me there or post your questions below. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'll put some of my social media links in the description below the video. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day.